D-Lo 404 Boxing. Alright, y'all, so according to Boxing News 24, the Canelo Alvarez Billy Joe Saunders fight brought in over 400,000 new subscribers to DAZN from the US alone. That's a big, in my opinion, I think that's a big accomplishment for DAZN. I think that's on par with what they probably expected when they first signed Canelo a few years back when they first started up DAZN. So that's a big win for them. To me, it appears that DAZN USA is trending in the right direction. That's a great accomplishment for Canelo because I'll be honest, in my opinion, Canelo did all the heavy lifting. That's the phrase people like to use in boxing nowadays, for bringing in those subscribers. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders is a solid opponent. Not to say that no one really knows him or cares for him, but I have to be clear and say that Canelo is definitely the reason that people signed on for DAZN and bought that subscription. You know, whether that, and I don't know whether those were monthly subscriptions or whether those were an annual subscription, because a monthly subscription, those people could opt not to renew their subscription next month. But at the end of the day, it's still revenue, it's still eyes on their platform. It's still bringing in, opportunity for them to get retention on those new people that came in and subscribed. And having Canelo fighting as frequently as he has in the last, over the last several months, definitely is a big draw for DAZN right now. Coincidentally, Canelo is not locked in long term with DAZN, so he could, even as soon as his very next fight, go to another network and fight there. Which in Canelo's case, should he go to another network and then have a huge viewership, whether that be pay-per-view buys or whatever the metric is, that also will further enhance and solidify his drawing power and star power in the sport of boxing. Not that has to really be, has to really be highlighted, because we all know that he is a huge star in the sport. For me, I think DAZN has to look at what has worked, what has been successful in this regard with Canelo, and even if Canelo should choose to go somewhere else, just look at that as an opportunity to learn from it and see what they can do with other boxers and bring it on their platform, and even the ones that are actually there, see what they can do to be able to retain some of these new subscribers, or even attract more subscribers. Lastly, there's always a possibility that even should Canelo leave DAZN, he could come back, because he probably isn't going to lock himself in long term with anyone else. So it's very possible that he could come back for a fight here and there, which still, the lure of Canelo coming back to fight on DAZN would still help with their retention and also help with bringing in new eyes and new subscriptions to the platform. So, much respect to Canelo for being able to tilt the scales in DAZN's favor on this big night, because like I said, once again, Canelo was doing the heavy lifting. The bulk of the subscriptions, in my opinion, definitely have to be people that tune in to see Canelo, because had that been Billy Joe Saunders and anybody else, you definitely wouldn't have got those type numbers. But you can argue that it could have been Canelo and another guy sitting in that position as the WBO champion at super middleweight, and Canelo still would have brought in just as many viewers and new subscribers. That's all I got to say on the subject. D-Lo 404 Boxing. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.